Okay, let's get into this. You've brought us a really fascinating topic for this deep dive. We're looking at these traditional omens, these signs people used to believe foretold death across different times, different cultures.
Exactly. And we've got some great source material that digs into these superstitions. It's quite something.
Right. So our mission, really, is to unpack some of the more striking examples from the text, just explore them as, cultural beliefs reported there.
And what's really compelling is how people looked for these signs in just everyday life, trying to find meaning, maybe some kind of warning in things that just happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like a lot of it started right there in the home, with familiar objects, even time itself.
That's a great place to start. The sources definitely highlight disruptions with things like clocks and household items.
So clocks, what's the story there?
Well, according to the text, it wasn't just if a clock broke down, if it suddenly stopped, or maybe struck at a really weird hour, the wrong time, that was seen as a major sign. Like time itself had just run out for someone living there. Death literally marking the house.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah.
Taking something so mundane and making it so significant.
Exactly. And there's another domestic one. The material mentions candles.
Right, the candlebacks. I remember reading that.
Yeah. Apparently, if the wax melted in a certain way, like completely flowing down and covering the base.
Oh, sealing it.
Precisely. Almost like it was forming a shroud around the candle itself.
Creepy visual.
Very. And the belief described was that this wasn't just messy wax. It was an unmistakable omen. Death was close, maybe even sort of prefiguring the burial wrapping.
So taking an everyday object's behavior and seeing this profound final meaning in it.
Mm-hmm. It's all about interpreting the world around you for these big life events.
Okay, so from inside the house, clocks, candles.
Yeah.
Where else do people look? The natural world seems big in folklore.
Oh, definitely. Birds, especially. They pop up constantly in folklore about death, souls, journeys between worlds, that kind of thing.
Makes sense. They can fly, seem sort of otherworldly sometimes.
Right. And the sources list several specific bird actions that were seen as really bad signs.
Like what? What turns a regular bird into a messenger of doom?
Well, one common one apparently was a bird actually flying into an open window, breaching that inside-outside boundary.
Okay, yeah, I can see that feeling wrong.
Or similarly, a bird just beating its wings against closed shutters. Persistently, like it's trying to get in.
Like death knocking, almost.
Kinda, yeah. And then there's the sound, an owl hooting near the house for ages. Owls at nighttime,
Always a bit spooky.
And one more really vivid image, a single raven away from its flock, just calling loudly right by the door.
Gosh. So all these different bird signs, the belief was they were warnings or something else.
Warnings, yes, or sometimes seen as actual envoys of death, maybe even escorts for the departing soul. It suggests this view of nature as constantly sending messages about fate.
The world is alive with signs, if you know how to read them.
Basically, yeah.
And then the sources move into even stranger territory. Figures that aren't quite natural, spectral figures.
Yes, phantoms. That's another whole category of these beliefs. The texts describe these apparitions. Wandering in fields, on streets.
Doing what? Delivering messages.
Not always directly interacting, it seems. More like waiting, being present. Their presence was the message, signifying that fateful news was coming, or perhaps already delivered.
And the really chilling part from the reading was that just seeing one, that could be enough.
That's what the material emphasizes. The mere sight of one of these phantoms could supposedly bring doom or misfortune onto whoever saw it.
So you don't even need a word spoken. Just witnessing it seals your fate.
It seems that was the fear. It highlights this anxiety not just about death, but about its harbingers, the power they were believed to hold.
Okay, so we've covered quite a range. Stopped clocks, melting candles, all sorts of bird behavior, and these eerie phantom sightings.
Different categories, but all pointing towards ways people tried to grapple with mortality.
So, stepping back, what does all this tell us? These beliefs, they vary, but there's that common thread, isn't there?
Absolutely. It really speaks to this deep, maybe universal human need to find signs, to find some kind of pattern or warning when facing something as huge and inevitable as death. Trying to make sense of it, maybe prepare for it.
Yeah. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, thinking of these traditions. What does our ongoing fascination with signs, maybe even modern superstitions, say about us, about those universal human anxieties about mortality that seem to compel us to look for clues in the world, whether it's, a glitchy clock back then or something else today?